T.I., bro, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? What what are you doing? I want everybody to forget anything that has happened with T.I. expeditiously this past week because this makes no sense. T.I., kind of how I said with Chris Carter earlier today in the show, there's certain things that you just don't say. I'm kind of glad that you said this because now, hopefully, you can view this situation a bit differently. But T.I., come on now. For those of you that don't know, T.I. was discussing what he does with his daughter on a podcast, right, in the relationship that they have. So in an interview on the Ladies Like Us podcast, he talked about parenting styles, and then he had talked about specific sex talk that he has with his daughter. And his older daughter, Deja Harris, who is 18, her first year of college, he said, no, we've only had the conversation. Not only have we had the conversation, we have yearly trips to the gynecologist to check her hymen. Yes, I go with her. After her 16th birthday party, he put a sticky note on the door that said gyno tomorrow, 9:30 a.m. T.I. T.I. And then he would go further to explain that, the doctor would sit down with him to tell him, hey, there are different ways in which a young woman can break her hymen that's not specifically having sex. And he's like, well, my daughter's not an athlete. She don't ride bikes. She don't ride horses. So it's not many ways for her to be able to do so. Then he asked his daughter, is it okay that he shares his information with me? The doctor, she says yes. And the T.I. was like, okay, cool. However, I thought something happened with T.I. because the way he was threatening. It was like 1.5 million tweets of people were talking about this. My stance is, T.I., I get that you want to be, I don't like this, I'll move it back. I get that you want to be there for your daughter. You want to protect your daughter from, in a sense, guys that really ain't stuff at all. Y'all know what I'm trying to say, right? That ain't stuff, and that you want to be able to shield her from a lot of things that you might have seen, you might have experienced growing up, right? Because your situation is different than what theirs is. Bro, this ain't it. This is not it. This is not it. If anything, she, in my opinion, will just grow up to lash out and resent in different ways because of the force in which you're trying to have on her sexuality. She's trying to grow and become her own person, and you're like, oh, I need to check to make sure that you're not doing this. Otherwise, we're going to have an issue. And it takes me back to the LeVar Ball, Lonzo Ball conversation in terms of being like, it can really stunt growth for a lot of kids if parents become so heavy-handed with the way that they treat their kids on certain things. Now, I get with the way in which things are. You have a nice-looking young daughter. I'm assuming. I don't know what she looks like whatsoever. You have a nice-looking young daughter. There are a lot of guys that are probably like, yo, all right, not only do she look good, but she's T.I.'s daughter, so we be good, we be set. You want to get a lot of that out the way so that doesn't happen. But going to the gynecologist with your daughter yearly after her birthday to make sure that she's not having sex yet, I feel as if you could probably just have a great relationship with her and just have that conversation of what she needs to be prepared for, so that way when it does happen, one, it doesn't catch you off guard, but two, she'll be a lot more trusting and want to tell you more things. Because rumor on the street, or rumor with the tweets, is that she was out here liking tweets about people saying this isn't the right way to be able to handle this situation, and saying it in much more vulgar ways than that. Come on, T.I., bro. You even had Planned Parenthood come out and tweet, I don't know who needs to hear this, but virginity is a made-up social construct and it has nothing to do, absolutely nothing to do with your hymen. Come on, bro. That's like having Merriam-Webster tweet at you about Expeditiously. Tip. That, yeah, I knew that was bad because other people was hitting me up talking to me about that, and I was like, ooh, T.I., you done really made a lot of people upset with this one, bro. You made a lot of people. You made me upset because you don't never let your guest speak on your podcast, but you made a lot of people upset with this one, and rightfully so. Because if I were to have a daughter, or whenever I have kids, if I'm lucky enough to have a daughter one day, we're not doing that. We're gonna have open, honest conversation. I want to be able to talk to you, relate to you, so that way we can see that we're ultimately trying to get you to the same place in terms of where you want to be in your life, but not by me saying that I'm going to the gynecologist with you and I'm going to check to make sure that you still have your hymen. I feel like that's just growing resentment towards you that she's going to have. So I hope out of all of this situation, he can look at this in a different way and be able to adjust his parenting in that way, because from watching some of his show and seeing how he is, from everything that I've been able to see, he's been an okay, pretty good dad, right? This one's just not it. This is not it. This is not the way. This is not the wave. This is not how you should go about it. Up next,